I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Good evening, mums and dads and boys and girls. It's Thursday, it's 8 p.m. and it's the Big Detecting Show with my beautiful co-host, Mr. No,
Adrian.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
No.
Adrian Gaylor.
Yes,
How are you, Adrian?
thanks. I'm right, thanks, David. You?
Yes,
You've been using that right wrist a lot this week, haven't you?
Oh, mate, do you know, Mrs. Sadler has a week off work. Decorating. She's back at work on Monday. Can't wait.
Yeah.
I don't know. What can I say? How have you been? Have you been out and about?
No, I'm going out tomorrow. So, well, I have been out briefly, but proper full day tomorrow. Got a couple of machines I've got to finish testing for the magazine. So, yeah, it's just very wet and
field testing.
Huh?
Field testing.
Yes, Dave, yes. He's Dave's commenting on that because there was a program this week.
Commenting on what?
Yeah, and on YouTube, and that I didn't write the script, and something was said about me. Nice, very nice, but making me big head. But yeah, but no, I'm out tomorrow, so looking forward to it. Detecting with my mate. Got lots of films, so yeah, really good.
Marvelous. I must apologise again because we got the stream going on Facebook now. Luke's taken steps that next week we should be all back to normal on Facebook. We believe we understand the issue, and Luke will be sorting that within the next week. But currently, we got about 20 seconds worth of stream on Facebook, and then it went bye. It turned us off again. I think we got 8 minutes last week, but we're in the process of dealing with it. And it's bad, Adrian, because the amount of people who do view via Facebook who don't want or like to use YouTube, but it's the ease of it watching it in your news feed. It's not. I feel for the people who are unable to watch, or you know what I mean. So
yeah,
you can always look at the shows, always there to go back to it. thebigdetectiveshow.com. You can watch them all back whenever you want, and up to date with all the podcast versions as well. So you can find us on Spreaker as well to listen in the car. So there you go.
Cool, that Spreaker, listening to it in the car.
Oh, mate, it's a must. Driving to a metal detecting event, listening to metal detecting malarkey. Bob on. Yeah. I mean, there's that guy in America, can never remember his name. Does an American Josh Kimmel? Is it? Does an American metal detecting show, which is very well respected. That's supposed to be very good. I listened to one or two a couple of years ago, but there you go. What have I got to say? I've got a few, before we go to the news, I've got a few parish notices. There's 19 full weekend tickets still available for DetectorCon. If you just search DetectorCon and you'll find that. That's in July. We'll come back to that in a moment. Time Team. I was buzzing this week, Adrian.
I
got a little certificate, which, Luke, if you can switch screens. There you go, switch screens. Nice little certificate on the wall. You can't actually see. It's not very good pixelation there, to be honest, but nice certificate there to thank me in recognition of my contribution to Time Team. And I got a nice little pen and a pin badge as well, so that was lovely. I also received a nice welfare package from Graham Dempsey from the composite cleaning pencil. There you go. I've wrote it on the wall so I won't get it wrong. It come and I opened it, big padded envelope, and I opened it, and he'd spelt my name like my eBay account. I thought, what have I been buying now? And out comes this book, and I'm like, I haven't ordered any books. Major Tony Clun, MBE, In Quest of the Lost Legions, the Varoslach. So I've got a nice Roman book to have a read of. And also, there's some fantastic other bits and bobs. Luke, if you could put Dave Cam on, appreciative. We got a nice bottle of Gladius to trial. Oh, that's not nice, is it? That doesn't work.
No. I've got that
shining on it.
That's cracking stuff, that is. You can use it over and over again.
Try it this way instead.
Drink it.
I don't want to get drunk tonight, to be honest, mate. A nice Gladius anyway. And he also sent these little beauties, which are in different packs. And as you can see, I've got a nice Roman coin on display. I wonder why that's doing that. You see, nice little Roman. But it's like a push-out foam thing, which obviously slots into this. This is a two-piece, which clicks together with the foam and the insert. So you can take the rings out per size of your coin. And then it clicks into the little stand, and you can have a whole little bunch of... I've got one coin to show, so there you go. So thank you very much for that, Mr. Dempsey. Very much appreciated. And I got the name of the company correct as well. Composite cleaning pencil. Just checking. Anyway, to the news. In fact, before the news, I found a new little thing on StreamYard. Gosh, this is pixelating rubbish tonight. Let me just see if I can just alter the green screen just a little bit to stop that happening. On that one there, just there. There it is. Is that a little bit better? A little bit. So we found a new little thing which we can show some bits and bobs. So this is my son, Archeo Boy. He was asked by his grandma to go and do some helping in his garden the other day. So off he toddled, because she's in our bubble. She is his childminder otherwise. And he come back, and I went, all right, mate. Yeah, Dad. Plonk. He'd robbed me McGrafter before I even had a chance to use it. So I said, right, boy, you can do a video review. So here is Archeo Boy's video review of the McGrafter.
The McGrafter shovel that you kidnapped this morning and took to Grandma's. Tell me your thoughts on it, please.
Well, if there weren't so many roots, it would have made holes much easier.
So there were roots in the ground with a problem?
Yeah.
But did it go through, did it dig all right otherwise?
Yes.
Was it light enough?
Yep.
And you are how old?
8.
And was it long enough for you to use?
Yep.
And is there any bad things about it?
Well, not really.
Were the things that you stamp on to push it in the ground out all right?
Yeah.
And the handle all right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything was good and it was strong. Okay, thank you.
So there you go. There was Archeo Boy giving a little review.
Bless him. Down to earth.
Well, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, mate, he has to earn his keep. He screwed me over by taking me thingy so I couldn't break his virginity, and he has to do his work for it. You know what I mean? It's only fair.
What was he digging?
Grandma's garden. She's been and brought a load of plants or something, or vegetables, this, that, and the other. And he was carrying the compost. He's 8 years old, and he was carrying the compost in bags and digging holes. Dream job. Right, let's go to this week's news, if we may. Excellent. So I can see what we're doing here, can't I? So the weekly news. Now, first up, bit of bad news. RIP to Time Team's Victor Ambrose. He, you'll remember, is the gentleman who done the fabulous sketches during the programme. This news was released by Time Team themselves. Their statement read, they're very saddened to hear that they've learned to the passing of their dear old friend, Victor. Having talked to his family, he told them what a wonderful man and a peaceful end with his family around him. Obviously, you can read that in full if you go to ArkMD Mag, and it's the top story currently. 9 Roman coins found in Norfolk are declared a treasure. Look at them babies, Adrian.
Yeah, cool, lovely.
Aren't
lovely. They? Mind you.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, go on.
No, you first.
It's taken quite a while, isn't it?
It has. It says the discovery of the 9 Roman coins in Norfolk have been declared treasure. Missed that section. 6 gold ori of Augustus were found by Damon and Denise Pye on land near Norwich in 2017 using a metal detector. Wow, metal detector.
Oh, you used a metal detector.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, you could have used a dog. Gary Blackwell's taught his.
Yeah.
Next up, at the Midland Federation of Metal Detecting 2021 Open Membership Reminder and Invitation. As they'd approached the new calendar membership renewal date, the Federation of Metal Detector Clubs like to remind clubs and individuals about their membership renewal. If you go on here or you go onto its own article, you'll be able to click on that form and it will download the membership form for you, or alternatively, visit the Midland Federation Metal Detecting Club website. Click on them links to do so there. Police warn more devices could be found after 2 hand grenades were discovered in Paynton. Thanks to John Clayton for sending this in. Officers from Kingsbridge Police have warned that Second World War devices could be discovered on Devon's beaches following severe weather. It was come as a cordon was put in place in Paynton seafront on the 13th as 2 hand grenades were discovered. In a statement, it said, Paynton seafront is currently closed, blah, blah, blah. Again, click there to read more. A fantastic article, and I mean, it is massive. Was sent to me by Dick's Noonan Webb Auctioneers. On Tuesday of last week, the auction of the late Reverend Richard J. Plant, a numismatist from the UK, took place, including a significant number of historic collection of coins. And boy, are there some images in there of said coins by auction house Dick's Noonan Webb, fetching a combined total of £202,895, double its pre-sale estimate. You can read that, as I say, on the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine website. A rare Roman bronze coin is unearthed in Israel. A well-preserved Roman coin was found in northern Israel by the Israel Defense Force soldier. The coin was probably lost by a turn on one of the roads until a soldier spotted it nearly 2,000 years later. The rare coin was minted in the city of Giva between 158 and 159. Its obverse bears the head of the Roman Emperor Antonius Pius, and the reverse shows the Syrian DTMEN with the legend of people of Giva Philippi. Another article that was sent in today, this week by Peter Harrington he writes for the website undercoil.com. And this looks at the archaeological finds in England and Wales over the last year. And basically, it looks at statistics and such like of where the most likely place to find artifacts and coins are. Notice I didn't say treasure then because I hate that word. Norfolk rare Boudica era chariot harness finds puzzle experts. Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, lovely. Look at that.
Rare parts of a 2,000-year-old harness are like a piece of a puzzle to be solved, they said. 2 copper alloy strap mounts, 1 ring and binding strap were discovered in Norfolk last year. They said it was very rare and very unusual to the point we are not sure what we are looking at. The expert thinks this is from a horse harness and possibly connected to a chariot that someone like Boudica would have travelled around in. And I had to throw this one in last because I've only just spotted it about an hour before the show. A stunning collection, and we'll probably get word from Mr. Spencer, who's coming on shortly about this too. A stunning collection of a 1,000-year-old gold and silver Viking jewellery has been discovered on the Isle of Man by a metal detectorist. Retired police officer Kath Giles made the find on a farm in the north of the island. The hoard includes a gold arm ring and a massive silver brooch dating back to 950 AD. It was unearthed in December, but it has been revealed for the first time during a coroner's hearing. God, that's quick, isn't it? From find in December to coroner's hearing. Yeah, well, it's all moved to Isle of Man. Madden's National Heritage Curator of Archaeology, Alison Fox, said the arm ring in particular was a rare find. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Should we have a quick look what else is on there, shall we, as well? Anything else of interest? We've got an article about Beware the Banshee, what happened in Tunguska. Now, and this is obviously... No. We all know, we are the guests on the other week, Chris Titchler and Julian Evan Hart of the Underground History Show. It was finally released yesterday, so we've done a review on it, so you can go there and the video's there as well. Hits still count to YouTube, so don't worry about that. Obviously, people like the hits. And I thought it was fantastic. I really did. There was a few blips, but looking back on it again, after I watched it for a second time, I realised the blips were actually part of the show itself, as opposed to an editorial blip. But thoroughly enjoyed it. Adrian, you've watched it, and I know you're in it, but take away the fact you're in it. Give me your unbiased thoughts.
In all honesty, I think it's about time we had something of good quality, as in the filming of it, even the music, and just a nice mix. Ignoring me, nice mix of people. And when Jules was on there and they showed the sky and the fields, I almost felt a bit sort of homesick, wanting to get out and detect in the summer. But I sort of started watching it on my computer and I started slouching down like that, as if I was watching Time Team or something. So it worked for me. It's only going to get better. And I just hope that Chris Tritchler gets all the respect he deserves for doing it, because it's ridiculously hard work. I mean, the bit I'm in is only lasts, 2 minutes, Dave? 3 minutes?
Yeah.
I think. Well, anyway, not long, and it took a whole day of filming, constant editing, changing. I'm not a presenter, neither's Jules. He's done a fair bit in his time, along with the other people in there. So having to relay a sort of semi-scripted thing is quite hard, especially for me. I was in a hell and all mud. Fortunately, I did have a genuine find of a buckle in it, which was really nice. It was enjoyable and a good day. And I think we need something, nothing against other channels and things, but it's nice. It's a long, 36 minutes?
Yeah.
So it's something you can watch and enjoy, and hopefully people will like it, and there'll be many more. Well, there is going to be many more.
Well, I think for me, the fact that it's a program which you can watch and it's not self-orientated like a lot of YouTubers are, and let's face it, that is the case. And don't get me wrong, they each all have fantastic shows, but a lot of them are self. Let's get that 1,000 subscribers so that we'll start monetization. This is a program which they've only got 300 odd people on, 400 people on the YouTube subscribers, but it's a damn good show and it's professional. Again, a lot of YouTubers, my videos are absolutely dire, absolutely detest them because they're that bad, because I've got no idea what I'm doing, even though I try. But editing is fantastic. Our audio was fun. That song at the end,
I like that.
It's the next song on the playlist after the Detectorist theme song now, isn't it?
Really? I didn't know that.
No, that's what it would be for me.
Oh, sorry.
Metal Detecting playlist. Obviously, Johnny Flynn would be number one. Number two would be that song now.
Yeah, it was just nice and mellow and relaxing. And the guy at the end, Simon, I've forgotten his name, but
Simon Isles.
Yeah, he doesn't live too far from me. He was, he's there with his Quattro, Minelab Quattro, not the latest machine. He's been detecting for years, and he found some really nice finds. And the way he was just sitting there, it's almost like you're talking to someone in the pub, which is what it's all about of our hobby, not jumping up and down with like, subscribe and all that malarkey. It was like watching a television program. It was.
Let's bring Dan in at this point. Tonight's guest, Dan Spencer. And Dan, how are you?
I'm good.
Here he is. Are you well?
Dan?
Well, that was the longest 27 minutes of my life waiting for that.
I'm sorry. I just realised. I thought it was only about 1:15. Dan, just to get it out of the way then, before I start asking you other questions, what were your thoughts? I presume you have watched the Underground History Show now.
Yeah, absolutely. I exactly what Adrian was saying. I think sometimes they can drag out and be, it's not metal detecting and searching in history and archaeology doesn't always come across on TV as the most exciting thing in the world. Time Team, I think a lot of that was about the characters involved. That's what most of us remember. So I think, short and sweet, it got to the point. It wasn't dragged out. I think it's great. And exactly the same again. I like YouTube videos like that as well. Those ones where I like it when they dig everything, but they cut to each one and they miss all the bits where they're just walking along and talking about the Mrs. Knitting. So no, I liked it. It went down well for me.
So I apologise for Dan saying that about women's knitting. I don't want to ostracise any of the knitters in the chat room. Dan, it's been a while. I think the last time we spoke to you was Detectable. We were obviously unable to have you because the COVID lockdown hit just as you were about to come on the show last. You had to make a rush up to Liverpool. Obviously, the first question that we ask is for you to introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Daniel Spencer. For those who don't know me, I'm Daniel Spencer. I am a field reporter at the Search magazine, and I get involved in testing new machines, new product, new accessories. I also get to write articles about metal detecting. I get out there into the fields, and a lot of people know me not mainly for like YouTube or Facebook. It's actually getting out there and doing the digging, bumping into me on digs, try and get out as much as I can, and try to get around as far around the country as I can as well, just to see people, see what comes up. I think we all know the finds are very varied through the UK. Every sort of dig you go to, a different area you go to, the more common stuff is different everywhere you go. So that's me really in a nutshell. I have a full-time job. This is my hobby job, if that makes sense, and it works really well. I don't get bored of it as such. Me and Adrian were talking earlier about sometimes you're going out there specifically just to do a job, test a new coil. Your mate's buzzing around picking everything up, and you're testing different coils against each other. It's not always sunshine and roses. Because but you can't always get down just far off your mate. But the benefits of that, once you nailed that or learned that new coil, new machine, you have the advantage. You get out there and you start to find. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell, really. The Search magazine.
Well, can I just ask now, between the both of you, who is the best field tester?
Well, officially, it's already been announced.
It has.
It was already announced. Yeah.
You knew it was going to do it. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. those who've seen the Underground History show will find out. I didn't write the script, so just some comments in there. So
okay. You may have also seen a banner pop up below asking a question about the detectorists. Again, last week went well, so we've got 4 spot prizes again this evening, 2 of which have kindly been donated by Mr. Spencer. We will not tell you which is which. We'll decide. Obviously, we'll do a little draw off air because there'll be 4 spot prizes again tonight, 2 of which will be from the Searcher. In fact, we're not going to even tell them what they are. We'll just let them turn up, and they could be shocked and all woohoo like that. So. We've got 4 questions again. The first one's done. I don't know who the winners are. Did Phil Wills, did you get your address? No, Phil, I didn't get your address. 4 times. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I only done that because it come up 4 times. 6 times. I'm not saying more. No, I didn't get your address, Phil. Where did you send it? editor@arcmdmag.com, please, if you will. Anyway. So, how did you become involved or one of the people who works for the Searcher?
So literally through metal setting and having a relationship with Leisure Promotions, actually. I knew Pete quite well. I was really pleased with the service and everything I was getting from Pete and all the products. So naturally, I just pushed Leisure Promotions. And through that, Pete's got a good relationship with the Searcher magazine, has done for a long time, through his parents and Harry Bain's parents, the Searcher. So when Harry was talking to him saying that she was looking for somebody, it came about that he put me forward and said, would I have a chat with Harry? And so, and that it just came with that. We got on straight away, and I just sort of started doing bits and pieces. So it was as simple as that, and then just grew from there. I've not written for any magazines or been involved in anything like that before, but with my other job, I do stand up in front of hundreds of people and talk. So, manning the stand at a detectable and chatting to people from all around the world was sort of going to come quite naturally to me anyway.
Do you work for the government? Did you work for the government and tell people about the coronavirus then?
No, no, don't blame me for any of that. No, I'm into interiors and things like that. So I get to talk to architects and things, and most recently, obviously, it's all online at the moment. I'm talking to hundreds of people. Yeah.
I can tell you into architecture because the bricks behind you are the wrong way.
It's wood. It's wood.
How many years have you been detecting now, Dan?
For like around 20 years now. I started off doing World War II relics. I was collecting German World War II historical pieces, whatever I could get my hand on, documents, badges. I was going over to Germany to the flea markets to see what I could find. One of the most interesting things I did when I started and what I saw, I went to the Hürtgen Forest in Germany, where the massive battle of the Germans and the Americans, and was absolutely just taken in. There was a metal detectorist there. We found out later he shouldn't have been there, but we was looking at what he was finding as we were walking around the pillboxes. And as we were starting to go around, one of the first things I ever picked up was a bit of barbed wire. Now, there was the Forestry Commission, whatever they call themselves in Germany. They were there with the Graves Commission, and they were clearing out around the pillbox. And what they were doing is taking it all the way, because everything obviously builds up in the forest. They were taking it away, and they were just throwing it to the side, and they were having lorries coming in, taking all the spoil away. But in the spoil, we were seeing cases, bullet cases, all that sort of shrapnel, and there was bits of barbed wire. Now, I watched a digger pull a piece of barbed wire away from a pillbox and like rip it out the side of it. So it was obviously a fortified part of the pillbox when it was originally there. So I took it and I brought this. I wanted to show you because I knew you'd ask that. So this was one of the first ever things I did. It's a picture of the pillbox, and then this is really thick, obviously World War II type barbed wire the Germans used that had come off of that actual pillbox. And I got home and I put it into this frame, and I've had that ever since. That was 20 odd years ago.
Fantastic.
I sprayed it with hairspray. That was the only thing I could think of at the time to stop it rusting. And that is my thing. That's my little signature. That I tell people to do it all the time, and people joke me, but all my finds, everything gets hairsprayed. And to this day, not a bit of rust has fallen off that or any of my coins. It makes them more shiny. So, yeah, so I started having that interest, and then I got a metal detector after going online, how to find things that aren't sat on the surface. And that was it. It was that or bottle digging. And no offense to any of the bottle digs, but I've seen the pictures of being 3 meters down in a muddy hole and stuff like that for hours on end. The metal detecting sort of appealed more. So I got myself a cheap metal detector, went into my mum's paddock and started finding World War II 303s, police cap badges, military ones. So that was tying in with the World War. And then I found my first Roman, and that was it. Wow, I absolutely blown away. So I went home, researched it, found the local club, joined the local metal detecting club, and the rest is history. It was just so easy. It was just like that, and I'm fascinated with World War II, and it just led to everything else.
Fantastic.
Do the people at your work know your involvement in metal detecting, Dan?
Well, yeah. So funny story of that. They didn't. And on my induction, which was a month after I'd started, you sit in a big room with your 40 odd other people that you work with, area sales managers, and they put a thing up with presentation on the wall, and it's flicking through people, and there's these new girls that started, and there's beautiful pictures of these girls, and on a night out with a drink, I'm going, yeah, oh God, what picture they used of me? And it come along, and it was a picture of me on the front of the Searcher magazine, and it was like people, I could hear people going, is that a gun? Is that, what is it? And then people, that's a metal detector. Oh my God, he's a metal detector and all this. And I'm sat there just absolutely, I'm not embarrassed about it, but when that's just thrown at you and everyone's just laughing and stuff like that, and I'm trying to explain that it's not a little old man's sport, and it's not really geeky.
I know a similar story. I know a similar story interrupting about somebody who was called a world famous field tester as well. I presume that's how they felt.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, I've got a similar one. A lot of people, because I, like you, Dan, I've got a real job. I don't work for Treasure Hunting magazine all day long, all night long. I'd like to if I won the lottery, but where I work in lighting, and probably cross a bit with what you do. But when people find out what I do, they go, "You metal detect?" And I go, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, right. Have you found anything?" Usual like stories. Yeah. And then I sort of say to them, "Why are you surprised that I metal detect?" And they're like, "Well, you don't wear sandals, and you're not fat, and you haven't got a beard.
Whoa! What are you trying to say?
Dave, you haven't got a beard. But the sort of the normal sort of geeky. It's a lot of people represent. I quite like it because it surprises them, and then you get, "Oh, have you found treasure?" Right? Yeah, and you tell them all stuff. But it's a lot of people don't I think I don't know how many. I think in the past people were put off because of the geekiness of it, but now it's sort of turning a bit. And I think the event of new machines, apps, and social media, it's becoming a lot more popular. It obviously is, but yeah, it's funny, isn't it? How you sort of it's almost in line with train spotting. I think when I was growing up, but not anymore.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And the funny part is that over the years in this job, I've actually now got directors of companies ringing me just before Christmas, asking me what they should be getting their grandkids as a metal detector. And they'd never spoke to me about it before. And the first time they ever did, it was like taking the mick out of me, and that was it. It was just completely dropped. And I'm going all around the southwest, all into Wales, and I'm speaking to people. And now and again, I say, "Oh, wouldn't mind detecting around the back of your warehouse on that lovely field there," and they joke about it and stuff and all this, but never say anything until they all of a sudden they're interested or they see something on the telly. Obviously, like you mentioned earlier, that Viking hoard that's been found. I'll suddenly get a text. Oh, damn, this is really good. Did you find that? And it's all that that sort of thing. But I think secretly everyone's very inquisitive when it comes to treasure. James Bond. All sort of like any sort of treasure film or movie. Everyone loves them, and I just think people need to just break down their barriers a little bit and get involved. And I think people are. The more you see the treasure coming up and things on telly and the good stories, the good deeds, the rings that have been found in back people's gardens that they lost, the more of that happens. But I don't to say I don't want the hobby to get flooded is I don't want the hobby to get flooded by the wrong sort of person or the wrong sort of detectorist. I want the right sort of detectorists in the hobby that make a really good name for it. The rest, I'm happy to come in, try it, and go again. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Totally agree with that. I think I think the detectorists has played a big part, and fortunately, it wasn't launched in COVID lockdown, because I think we would be inundated with people wanting to join the hobby. Because as it was, the dig has got a lot of interest from people as well since that was launched last week or the week before. But yeah, it's interesting how it's going to grow. Have you found yourself, people you work with and people have actually brought machines?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely. Some of them have done it before. I actually, again, having that relationship with LP, I'll send people just links and say, pick up a machine. And sometimes I think they will, sometimes they won't. But some people that have done it have been customers. Some have been people at my work or old work. I had a friend who brought a metal detector. It was a Amazon special, and he came up to me, right, let's go detecting. Honestly, I couldn't stop laughing at it. It was very much one from the detectorist. It flashy lights on it, but in the wrong place, and robots down the side, that sort of thing. So I would encourage anyone to do it, and anyone from the office. I take magazines into the office. There's certain people in there that are really interested or want it for their kid. I'm happy to encourage that. Absolutely. First thing I start by saying is, I really push the whole. I'm not a goody two shoes in life to any sort of degree, but the first thing I ever speak to anyone is just, no, you can't go there, you can't do that, get permission. And sometimes that's just put people off straight away. They just turn around to me and said, what's the point? And I said, well, that's part of it. It's part of, you can't be a salesman and just expect to get a sale every day. You've got to work for it. You've got to go and see the right people. And that's what we are. So we've got to sell ourselves to a farmer. We've really got to, show it. And I know, like Adrian, you said earlier, some farmers really, really want to know the inside and outs of you. It's exactly the same in business. It's about relationships. And if I don't have a relationship with a certain customer, I'm not going to get their business. So we need to act like we're professionals. We need to go there knowing that people are going to say no, but no's turning to yeses even from the same people. So yeah, act professional and keep at it.
Yeah, I suppose the only other problem you got is the more people in the hobby, the more risk you run of having problems, like anything going on. So I think going forward in months to come, we might see a lot more night hawkers, people detecting in blinking parks without permission, and it could cause issues to the hobby. So need to keep an eye out for that.
Luke,
Absolutely.
could you share the screen, please? We're about to have the big metal detecting show Diggers Dips free prize draw. That's coming up in 1 minute. So if you just change the screen, and we will. There it is. Here we are. I can see it. I'm not ignoring you. I'm looking at my other screen so I can see what's going on.
How many numbers? How many, Dave?
This week we have 37 entries.
Ooh.
And there's a great picture, Chris Nagy, I think the winner from last week was, of himself and the composite cleaning pencil full kit. He's received that from Graham, and it looks better with somebody behind it. So, we just had a picture of it, but the picture of him with the thingy in front, it looks a lot bigger.
Dave, if you get a chance, can you share that picture? Because I noticed
yes,
he's so excited about winning it. Have you seen in the background? He's even had a violinist come and join him. If you look at the picture, can you see it?
Right, 5 seconds. I'll have a look in a minute. Obviously, at the end, just before we go into adverts, we will have a look. So, Dan, number between 1 and 37.
14.
Adrian?
31.
And I'll go for 19.
No, 19.
Which is easier than last week because we had about 300 entries. It could be me or Adrian.
Come on. Come on, number 4. That was.
Lucky for Tom, but not for Shane. 2009, who's won a Nocta Macro Pinpoint leg holster.
Well done, Shane.
Next up, Daniel.
Same numbers.
If you want, it's up to you.
Number 4. Number 4.
Adrian.
11.
11. I'll go for 26. All out. I bet it's 31.
34. That was going to be my next guess.
37. Top of the shop. Mr. Tomczyk. Good, well done to you. 10 Diggers Dips tokens. And a final prize of 5 Diggers Dips tokens go to Daniel.
Number 4 again.
4
Come
again.
on.
Adrian.
21.
19 for me.
My age.
What, is that the combined total of all the numbers there?
Oh, gee. They're normally low.
Aren't they? 36.
Why me? 34.
30. Dr. Ploppy. Well done, Dr. Ploppy. So thanks as ever to Diggers Dips and the winner of Shane 2009 for the leg holster, D. Tomczyk 79 for 10 Diggers Dips tokens and 5 Diggers Dips tokens to Dr. Ploppy. Now, I'm just going to find this picture for Adrian before we go to the...
That's
there
the one.
it is. A violinist?
I think I just saw that and thought, what?
Chris,
I think
legendary.
Yeah, I hope it's a painting, but I think he actually got someone in just to, create the ambience.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. We've seen that
bless
one.
him.
There's my certificate. Now, Kaylee sent me this just to show people what is Holland and what's not Holland. Because we learned that Netherlands is a different part of the region to Holland last week, which was mind-blowing.
She must think we're really thick.
Another picture, Luke, if you just bit back, Sassy Searchers, which is a females-only Facebook group. They've had a new T-shirt designed for them by Detector Wear UK. So you can get that on there, as you can with Arkham Deeds mag type stuff and Big Detective Show stuff. So, over to the adverts.
Many spend their days passively searching for something interesting to do. Others dig in and find it. While nothing is certain, anything is possible. And the anticipation leads you into action. Because it's here that adventures begin, stories are unearthed, secrets are revealed, fortunes are found, mysteries are solved, and the past is brought to life. Nothing valued is ever lost. It's simply waiting to be discovered. So here's the question. What are you looking for?
Will you search through the lonely earth for me? Climb through the briar and bramble. I'll be your treasure. I felt the touch of the king.
Welcome back, everybody. Straight over to this week's readers' finds. There's been quite a few. One in particular, Daniel O'Bairns, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, shared a good grand total of about 70 images, and there's some absolute corkers. So I've unfortunately just had to take a random selection. Now, are you ready for this one? A Dave challenge. This is from Asociación de Detective Iniciados Sierra de Guadarrama. There you go.
Well said.
There you go. Which I'm reliably informed by Google Translate means Sierra de Guadarrama Amateur Detectors Association. So they've sent some images via the Big Detecting Show. Some
Nice.
keys.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Some
Nut and
spikes
bolt.
that had held Jesus to the cross.
That looks like my fines pouch after magnet fishing for the first time. Oh,
This is, as I say, Daniel O'Byrne's, and I've took a selection of finds, and please go and have a look on the Big Detective Show Facebook group, because there are, as I say, about 90 images, and they are some fascinating things on there as well, including this little hoard.
yeah, he's a very successful detectorist at home and abroad. He's got a place away, and he goes and digs up billions of Romans a day. So
Wow,
he's he knows what he's doing with the machine. That's for sure.
fantastic. Now, obviously, this doesn't necessarily represent German Nazi.
No.
This is something that symbology goes back thousands of years.
I'm currently outside my Essex County Council offices, if people want to know, to prove it goes back a long way.
Or is that not just saying that the county council are Nazis?
No, it's on the building. It's been there. It caused a lot of people who don't know the history of it. It caused a lot of upset until somebody actually explained in detail what it means.
Yeah, it's also an easy way to spot it. That's the wrong way around. So
Yes.
that the actual, if you looked at it as a rotation, the Nazi Party used it the opposite way around, so the legs were going the other way. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Didn't notice that. I should have. I'm tired. A little Roman brooch.
Yeah. That's almost
Look at that.
Saxony.
Pottery as well. I'll let you two identify them, because I'm clueless. I just see there's lots of coins and
50p's.
Yeah, I was going to say like 10p's from here, from the picture I can see on the screen. But
tell you what, let's do this, shall we?
Zoom in. Oh, hammered.
Hammered 50p's.
50p's.
I don't think he found the penny, but a lovely gold stater.
Nice, very nice.
Very, very nice indeed.
From the Indian tribe. Now, this is Darren Richardson, and I think he believes this is potentially some form of inkwell or something similar.
Definitely
the way,
looks like
because the wood comes along with it.
Yeah. But it could be a bird feeder. They did have bird feeders in those days, medieval.
I always get so jealous of the quality of his kitchen paper, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice little premium, I think.
It looks like it sucks water very well, that one.
Yeah, highly absorbent.
Very absorbent.
Yes, these coins were wet when he started.
I'm surprised no one's brought out metal detecting kitchen roll.
Well, I put that to Harry. The printing process to make it red made it unviable.
And the fact that it could sort of come off on your bum, and you could think you're having something nasty going on.
Dave, you shouldn't use kitchen roll when you go for number 2.
If you run out of bloody toilet roll because everybody's panic bought it, you can't.
Oh, you'll block it.
You'll block it.
There's a 50p.
Yeah.
This is Gary Smith's massive crotal bell. He
has
added an explanation onto the Big Detecting Show group about it. He's done some study on it, and it's fantastic. Isn't it beautiful, that?
Yeah, really nice. That must have been on some beast.
Massive bird carrying that on its leg.
Yeah.
All cleaned up. Beautiful.
It's funny, when I was field testing the Apex, which is what he had there, I think, Garrett Apex, I found more crotal bells with that than I have any detector for a long time.
I might need to borrow one off you then, because I've not found one yet.
No.
This is Ian Jackson after a day's detecting. We love to see your finds, no matter if you think they're good or the bad. We love to see them
Yeah, I
nonetheless.
think well, to be fair, it's obviously it's a military area that he's at there, but those bottoms of the grenades, they're highly collectible. I know
Really?
I know people that collect them. So top left, the white looking thing is obviously not, but yeah, that on the left hand side. Yeah, that there.
I didn't
So
realise
they,
they were collectible.
They're very collectible.
Wow. Well, there you go, Ian. I'll pass on that information to him if he's not watching tonight. Now, this is John Clayton, and he took his granddaughter out with the MIDI hoard on a beach down in Devon, and she first found the nice big gold earring, and then, I'm going to zoom in for you, a gold ring.
Oh, well done.
Wow.
First time out detecting with it, and she was with a MIDI hoard, and it's his granddaughter, so she's not going to be that old.
Brilliant. They are brilliant little machines. They are. I've got them. I had the mini and the MIDI to test when they obviously mine were only prototypes, which is what I get a lot of the time. So the buttons are in the wrong places or something like that. But obviously the machine performs as well. And I tell you what, I was quite impressed going around a little camping field that we've got, and it was just picking up coins and things at depths where you were pulling out the plug and it was still underneath. So it was a good 5 or 6 inches. And to be fair, it just felt like it was doing what most normal metal detectors do. It was a great bit of fun.
Did you do it on your knees, or did you have a bad back?
No, they extend large enough for an adult to use
I
them.
know, Dan, I'm taking the mic.
Oh, you were taking them in, sorry.
I tell you what got
I had my
me.
really serious head on there, because Dilek would come on. Dilek would slap me if I started taking mix, so I'll let her slap you instead.
What got me, Dan, is the build quality of them. For something which I don't think is much money at all. And knowing that injection molding and all that and stuff, it costs a lot of money. If you compare that to one of your Amazon cheapies, which won't even get half the depth if you're lucky, let alone the recovery speed, it's bloody good money. Really is.
Absolutely.
I mean,
totally.
the coil inside the shaft and everything, it's all neat little bit of kit. Really good.
Well, to be fair, that you brought up a good point there, because not to macro with that coil inside the stem, which obviously come out with the impact and stuff, and it's very similar to what obviously my lab with the CTX etc. had. I wish more manufacturers would do that, but we spoke to MindLab at Detectable about that, and MindLab's stance on it, it's the actual curly coil is too much money to produce for them to be able to then produce a machine that costs the same as what the Equinox did. So for obviously not to macro to do it, it sort of like puts it back on MindLab and say, well, actually, could you do it? So it'd be interesting to see what they do when they bring out, the replacement for the CTX, if and when they do, if they go down that route, because I love it. I think that just having that away, it looks, obviously, we all know the Deus doesn't have a coil as such, a coil from the, I'm getting my words mixed up here, the wire from the coil, going up, it doesn't have that. It just makes it feel a lot more streamlined and balanced when you're actually using it as well. So I like that. It's a good little design thing.
Dave?
That's all I have to say on that.
No, Dave's gone to get some kitchen roll in the toilet.
He's gone to put his sandals on. Oh, he's lost him.
No, Luke put me on mute because Luke rang me. Sorry.
Oh.
No. Back with the images. Can we see the images?
No. Yes.
Yeah, okay. This is John Clayton again, and it's some of the silver that he's got. And there was another picture of it all next to it before it was cleaned. So this is his silver now. Luke rang me just to say, Dave, NASA have landed on the Mars.
Has it landed?
It's landed. Yeah, he said the live streaming. My question to that is, how can NASA get pictures all the way back from Mars and Facebook let us connect to the show and stream it on there?
Yeah, I just want to know how they're allowed that far away from home during a national pandemic. I can't go out of Swindon without getting grilled. They've gone to Mars.
Next up, these are Cy Weller's gold finds over the last 8 months or so. The ring at the back, the one with the is it Inglico, something like that. ring. There's the articles on our website, which will be coming out again in the next week or so.
What is it? Is that what's the black stone? Is that jet or is it something else? I can't really see.
Dan, you're testing me now.
Jet,
it wasn't actually. They thought originally it was Roman because of the it was basically like a seal in it, but it was found out it's more modern. And I can't remember what the stone is. It is on the website, the report.
Yeah, I was going to say because you can see the rings modern, but obviously sometimes the stones are passed down, aren't
they? There you go.
Yeah,
beautiful though, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it definitely looks like jet to me.
Yeah. This is Sky Jackson, one of our young viewers. I think, what is she, Adrian? 12?
Why are you?
Because I'm not sure. To her too, and I can't remember.
I think she is, and that is so nice to see something like that from a young detectorist. Yeah, really, really nice. Well done.
Well, it's not just that. We've got some more. There's the reverse.
Brilliant.
There's some other finds. Again, Dan.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice bit of pocket money there as well.
It is indeed.
A hell of a lot of pocket money.
And then she sent this evening. So she's finding some decent bits and bobs.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah, that's old.
So there you go. There's this evening's images via Sky, and we will go straight over back to the file, and we will bring out Mr. Spencer's images that he sent over this evening, so we can talk Dan again. Where's this, Dan? It looks absolutely stunning.
Do you know what? It's a lot of people, if anyone lives in the Southwest or goes to the Southwest, they should know where that is. So that's at Breen. Right. So that's the point. So obviously that's an all a World War battery up on the top. Obviously all the defences and stuff are up on the top there. But you literally, you can't walk 5 yards on that beach with the Mount Sedge without finding a 303 or some bit of shrapnel or something within that, which, to be fair, that's one of my favourite spots for detecting, to be fair, because of that. It's almost like a benchmark. If I haven't found a 303 within sort of like 10 minutes of detecting with a machine, it's not working. There's something wrong. But it's a lovely place, and I've done. The water goes right out there, and when the water's in, you can walk for don't want to guess. You can walk a long way, and the water doesn't even touch your knees. It's really good for detecting in the shallows. If you're using underwater metal detector or anything like that, you can get. You don't have to go right out into the sea to be able to do it. It's a lovely place to detect. I did a beach test there, which was in the Searcher magazine. We've recently just redone the test actually for the magazine for the different programs, so land and beach, and that's where I did most of the testing. There are certain spots there which have got some black sand, so it can be a little bit tricky, but generally it's just a nice place to go. That's why I go there.
Is it far from your car where you're actually situated here?
No, you drive all the way down past all the pleasure island sort of place, all past all the caravans. You get to the end where you can't go any further. There's a car park there and a cafe, and you literally get out your car, walk through past the cafe, and you're on the beach.
So it's good for the fact you didn't have to carry all them very far.
No, exactly. Oh yeah. So I had a mate with me who come to take the photos, but it's quite funny actually. So in the Searcher magazine, we've got a carry bag. It's quite long and big. And at first, I put my machine into it. It's got a pouch on the inside which you put your spade into to keep them separate so they don't damage each other. And it just looked like I could definitely fit something else in there. So people were saying, "Oh, I've got all my stuff in here." And I saw how many machines. I got 7 machines in the bag.
Wow!
And with the spade, obviously I had to take some stems out and stuff like that. But I managed to get 7 whole machines with headphones and my spade in that one bag. And to be fair, I put it over my shoulder, and I thought, I can't do this every day. So you know, there's no way you'd need 7 machines unless you were doing what I was doing that day, doing a bit of testing. But it just goes to prove that, you know, I just wanted to prove to myself that. So I get a little bit like, oh, we'll take something, but let's see what we can do. I'm quite inquisitive, and we've got a spade bag as well on its own. And I started putting pictures up on Facebook because I got the, you know, rucksacks and that come out and things, but people still don't want a rucksack on their back. I know I get a bit hot in the summer walking around. If it's on my back, you get a bit of a wet back. We do a spade bag with a Velcro top, which is adjustable. And I managed to get a full Deus system in there with the spade. So I just, you know, like, it's a spade bag, but I just wanted people to know that you can do that, because I know a lot of detectorists go and they'll say, oh, I've just got this off Amazon, or I've just got this off Wish, and it was perfect for X, Y, Z. I'm like that, even with the searcher stuff, and we make stuff to adapt. And Harry's very, that's it. And Harry's very good, and she's very receptive to my ideas, and she throws things at me. And that's one of the jobs I absolutely love. That's Luke in the trousers and the jacket. We haven't had any Velcro badges made for the side yet, so if anybody wants to make their own badges up, they can stick them on with Velcro. We just want to offer the searchers, made for searchers. We just want to offer everyone something. So if they're new to the hobby and they're not sure what the best to get is, we just hope that we offer something for them. And I know when I'm fully kitted, I'm really comfortable now. It's taken years to sort of perfect and find the exact stuff, but these pro pouches are just so popular. We've got the mesh in the bottom to make sure everything falls out, the sand, the soil. That's that bag. I said it fits a full Deus with a 9-inch HF coil in that. We just, obviously everything's got to be separate as well, so you don't damage stuff. But yeah, we just made a really good selection of items, not too big, not too small. If you kick yourself out, you can have a good day's detecting nice and comfortably. So that's our most popular bag, that one.
Yeah,
by a mile.
Marvelous.
Yeah,
good products. Fair play.
Yeah, yeah.
Luke, can you put me back on screen share, please? So this is one of the finds that you wanted to discuss, Dan.
Yeah, well, to be fair, one of the reasons I put that up is just to say to people what we do. So this is a reader's find. Obviously, that's a stunning find, and I think anybody would be proud to find that. Absolutely incredible. But this is one of the main things I do for the magazine. So obviously, I'll take latest magazine, and along with myself and Team Searcher, we create readers' finds, and obviously there's a loop of ways, but what we try to do is just, even if it's someone who's just found their first ever coin, we just want to immortalize that on paper for them, make it really special for them, special for the readers to see it, and obviously exclusive content, so you get good value for money in a magazine. But also just the amount of people I've had, oh, my daughter's just found this, and, you know, my son's just found this, can you please put it in the magazine? It means the absolute world. To me, it's another reader's find, and I love seeing them. I really appreciate if people are sharing with us, but to them, it means the absolute world. And, you know, anybody who wants to share something in the magazine just for that personal reason, if not anything else, fire it over to me. You know, you can email me, find us on Facebook, Instagram. Just send me a message. And again, this subscription. So we do, you save money. Obviously, going to WH Smith's and stuff, you're always going to pay more for a magazine, but they are in WH Smith's if you can get there. But during the lockdown, we've seen the rise in subscriptions, and obviously the single magazine shoot through the roof. You can go online, you can get the magazine straight to your door. And you get it also, it turns up a lot quicker. New magazine out on Monday. And if you're waiting for WH Smith's, it wouldn't be out till the Friday. I know a lot of people really desperate to get it. So if you subscribe, you'd get it like Monday, Tuesday. So yeah, there's money to be saved there. It makes a good gift for people as well. So again, talking along the same lines as Made for Searchers, we created this on, so it's on our Facebook page. We've posted it a few times. It's just a free scale rule. So we really do encourage people to go to their fines, strike up a rapport with the fines liaison officer. I know that there are certain ones now starting to really get into this, and they're starting to join the metal detecting fines groups. So I run one with Luke, Metal Detecting Fines UK, and we've got a flow on board now, and he'll comment and he'll say stuff. People aren't always receptive to flows, but I ask them nicely to be, because at the end of the time, I'd rather them be on side than against us. So that scale rules are available to print off. It prints the scale if you print it onto A4, and then you can obviously email that over to your flow. with the dimensions, and they don't come back asking all sorts of questions. They can tell straight away, and you'll just get a faster process from them as well. So it's just something free that we printed out.
Vape bottles.
Is that a brew in that?
It's vape.
That's that was Luke and Ash went out for the day with some merch, take some photos, do a bit of detecting. I'm assuming it's coffee or tea. I don't know. but the bottle worked. That was the main thing. It was one of those. It keeps it hot for 12 hours, cold for 24. So,
and there we go.
There we go. Right, yeah. So obviously, I only sent over a few bits and pieces because I didn't want to bore you too much. But you know, when I'm out detecting and things, I do a lot of it for the fun rather than sort of what I find. But I have been lucky to find some really nice stuff. So I feel blessed for that. I know people that have found 500 hammards in 3 years, and you know, or 1 gold in 30 years. I don't think it matters too much on what they, you know, on the count. It's nice to have all that on the shelves, and I'm a big one for showing it off. I'm fortunate that my partner allows me to have a wall display with all my stuff on it, and she doesn't mind it at all as long as I keep it clean. So yeah.
Have you tried getting your partner out detecting?
Yeah, she had to get. To be fair, the first time she ever did it was my mum's paddock, and I had all this World War II stuff and one Roman coin. She goes out there and finds a little a Roman disc brooch. It wasn't the best condition, but she was using a Garrett Ace 250, and within about 3 minutes, she was like, "Oh, does this sound good? Yeah, it sounds good." Digs it up. Is this any good? And I'm just looking at her, just like that. You having a laugh? But there is a myth about, you know, the same as fishing. I know women that go out and they're extremely successful first time, and I know a lot of extremely successful females. I don't know if it's the perfume they wear or it's the painted nails, and the fines just want to come up to them. But I might start painting my nails and just see what happens.
I think I wouldn't do that, Dan. I think women are more patient. I took my daughter out last year with the, I keep saying Garrett Apex, but the Garrett Apex, and she loved it because it's lightweight. And rather than being called rude words, Dad's going out doing his whatever and all that, we were on the beach and she used it, and she found a few coins, a few shillings and stuff, and she loved it. But she'd only had the machine in her hand for about 20 minutes. And my wife, I think she'd enjoy it. And I think women are a lot more patient than men. I really do. I think we get out there and like, got to find gold, got to find gold, got to find hammers. And women are like, oh, this is nice. Oh, yeah, nice day, enjoying it. I think they absorb it more. And it
less
is
competitive, maybe.
Yeah. In the club I'm a member of, when I first set it up with the chairman 3 or 4 years ago, we had like 5 members in the pub, typical bearded sandals, kitchen roll and stuff like that. And now in the club we've got a couple of dozen women, and you know, from young to old, and they're bringing up hell and all finds, quite often bringing up like gold staters and hammers. And I don't know, they don't know. It's good. I think it's a hobby that is very male, or was, and now it's becoming more diverse, which is a good thing. I definitely think.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, as I mentioned before, Sassy Searches on Facebook. That's a women-only Facebook group. We don't know what goes on in there, and we really, really want to, don't we?
Well, good luck to them. You know,
I've got a plan. I've got a plan how to infiltrate it. Don't tell anyone.
Is it wearing?
Yeah.
It's his Saturday night outfit.
Yeah.
Saturday, is that it? I mean, yeah.
Doreen Sadler.
Davina. Actually, my nickname, honest to God, do you know what my nickname is from growing up as a kid back home? And still 20, 30 people call it me. Shirley. Because Barbara didn't suit me.
You look like a Shirley. Yeah.
Big Daddy was called Shirley. Dave.
Barbara Streisand had a big nose, so have I. So these
Big Daddy.
Yeah,
Big Daddy the wrestler. Big Daddy the wrestler.
Shirley Crabtree.
Yes. So, Dan, what this year we hear that Nocta Macro and just recently announced Dillet, I think yesterday, about the multi-frequency. That's going to be very interesting, isn't it? from Nocta.
She announced that, I think it was November last year actually, and I think people have just started to share it or just realised she said it. I started seeing the post yesterday, but it was actually from last November.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, I've spoken to Dilek about it, so I knew it was on the cards. I don't think she was keeping it a secret. I think they were initially hoping that obviously last year would be a good bite chunk, take a good, they get somewhere along with it, but with everything that happened, etc. So I think they're still on schedule to get it done this year. And I think with obviously those videos, it's started to spark up interest. I've seen in the comments tonight, people are starting to talk about it again. So yeah, it's that will be very interesting. And she mentions about a user interface as well, like she's seen the user interface. So that'll be interesting to see how different that is from the Simplex. I think the Simplex is very similar to the Equinox and others that are now out. I think they're all starting to use the same, so because we're just used to it, and it's easy for us to jump from one machine to the other. I know a lot of people do that. As soon as a new one's come out, they'll grab it and they want it. So it does make it easier. But I'd be very interested to see what this new user interface is about, and if it's improved anything over a Simplex, which is very easy to use anyway. But I don't know what sort of technology they'll be using. Is it the same sort of technology as the Ace Apex? Is it similar to sort of old Mine Labs? Don't know. Don't know that far yet. But yeah, that it's got to be a bonus. I think not only the technology-wise, I think you get that sort of confidence in people. People start to think this machine is doing everything. I don't have to switch. I don't have to think about it. It's doing everything for me. They become more confident. They find more. And that's personally what I think is, you go and buy the best fishing rod or the best car, all of a sudden it's the best thing and you start doing better with it because you're so confident. So I think that's going to bring confidence and obviously another boost for Nocta Macro as well.
We've also read tonight, well, we knew about it anyway, but Rootis are also looking at releasing a new product this year. And obviously we've also got the much delayed air detector, which has been put back again.
Yes. Yeah.
The
air detector. So I spoke to their team just before Christmas, and they said they were about to fire one out to the Searcher magazine for us to get on board with.
Yeah,
I messaged them a couple of weeks ago and didn't hear anything, and I know somebody else as well that was going to get one. So that, yeah, like you said, it's obviously been pushed back.
Oh, they contacted me not long ago and said because of they were about to ship it 500 units, but they took a percentage of the products out just to give it a final test on the final batch, and they found there was an issue with the coil on the, so they had to basically stop all 500 from going because of this particular. It's an issue that wasn't there originally, but has come into play since the final product. So sadly, that is the case.
Do you know what? You say sadly, but fair play to them. Want it to be 100% first time.
Oh, yeah. Fair play.
Well, I know manufacturers of other producproducts that would have sent that out and just hope for the best and hope that only 100 people would complain.
Yeah.
So fair play to them on that. I think with Rootis, that's really exciting. Them, like, Adrian was saying earlier about the Rootis 71 being the Altus 71 being one of his favorite products or a very good product. I do think for the majority of people that are not used to their product, they are quite a complex machine, or they can be if you want them to be. There's a lot of settings and stuff going on. It'll be interesting to see if they streamline it down and trying to produce the, something along the lines of the ORX or the Nox or the Apex, something that's going to be slightly simpler interface to use, but with the quality and performance of what Rootis fire out. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, I had the Rootis, and I have got the Rootis, can't get my head around it at all. Basically, I go onto the Team Rootis website and use Adrian Gaylor or Tony Kaywood's settings and leave it at that because I can't put out. Yeah, it black for me is perfect.
Rootis are so small in the world of metal detecting, and their marketing, they do all themselves. They don't outsource it to a marketing agency. Wyola does it. Arik, who's the developer, is his wife. And the things that I've heard in the grapevine, don't hold me to this, it's going to have a colour screen. which is quite new in the world of detectors. And there's going to be some other little tweaks. I mean, their hodograph display that they have, like a sort of what's it called? Just like a bar line. I don't know how to explain it more clearly, but it's a line like a graph. So you get your VDI, you get your tone, and you get a graph. And 99 times out, or 95 times out of 100, as soon as you get a straight line or a slight crook in the line, it gives you extra confidence that you're digging something decent. Yeah. And I just love that. And to have that in colour as well. And I don't know whether it is just the displays in colour or the hodograph display may be in colour, so it might change colour for iron or copper or silver. It's going to be really exciting.
Sorry, Adrian, is that like the Deus, the X, the XY screen that you get the lines on it? Actually, for things, things like Hot Rocks is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You nail it every time if it is or not.
Tony K said it's got a colour screen, waterproof, wireless, and a telescopic stem.
Yeah,
but the thing is, we've been told before that coloured screens. Well, we've been told this by XP and other people. It just is something that's not viable because apparently it just eats the battery to pieces. So but then manufacturers now will start to hear of 22 hour lifetimes on a battery, which you don't really need. So maybe the colour is viable if they can do that on the battery.
I think there's I think I mentioned earlier, Dan, I work for a lighting company. So, emergency lighting in buildings, the battery packs in those have to last, minimum of an hour, but in the UK, 3 hours we do. There's new battery technology that's come from overseas, not China, not Taiwan or anywhere like that, quite a well-developed company that is able now to last 15, 20 hours. And that's emitting an LED light with a lot more power than a normal LCD screen. So I think it's down to the battery technology, which with Tesla and all these developments is growing. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes our machines so great. I mean, you go back, I had a Minelab Safari not long ago, and the batteries on that, well, you know what it's like. You put your shoulder out and they only last a certain amount of hours and they burn down quick. But I think it's the battery technology, and also Dilek. He is not Dilek. That's a lady. Arik at Rutus. He lives and breathes metal detecting, and he develops all the software himself, the hardware himself, the 3D CAD drawings, and everything himself. And I don't know, it's probably me being British, but we love being I like being the underdog. And talking about detectors, you're right in what you say. You need to have confidence in your machine. So if you buy the best quality machine, it's a head start. But I quite like going out there with like Quest Q30 or something basic or an Apex and beating people with Noxes and Deuses. It's one of those things. It's like, for me, it's a challenge. Like, blimey, did you find that medieval gold ring with that old machine? Oh, that little cheap machine, yeah. Bit like the kids with the mini hoards and stuff on the beach. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think it's a British thing in us. We always like to be the underdog, and we do have a British machine, C-Scope, the Evo, which is unfortunately.
See that you brought me on to a good point there. So I think old school is new cool. Right. So here we go. So I've recently got one of these, which I've always wanted. It's the Bill Wyman.
Bill Wyman.
Your head fell off.
My head fell off.
Your shaft's broken.
My head's fell off.
Shaft.
Do you know what? I've always wanted one of these, and it was sort of like obviously the rock and roll sort of thing and stuff like that. But I saw one come up, and I picked it up really cheap, and it's absolutely mint. Apart from the edge just fell off because I've just got it. I rushed it over in a hurry. But I'll tell you what, I was using this earlier in the back garden, just messing about. It's like a PI machine. It was constantly on, a bit like a pinpointer, like a measurement. I'll tell you what, it was doing stuff. I started to dig down. I didn't want to go any further. And I'm just sort of like, this is really old machine and it's really old sort of technology, but with the small head on it and obviously what the power it's kicking out into it. But it's going up on the wall in the man cave. But I just wanted to try and see what it did. And this sort of machine is still now, really respectable and it would work. It would work. It's got beach setting and inland setting. So if anyone finds one of these really cheap and they want to go metal detecting for the first time or just want a backup, I know it's got the Bill Wyman thing and he knows what he's talking about when it comes to metal detecting and finding treasure and stuff. But yeah, pick one up. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm really chuffed with this. Really chuffed.
Do you know, it's really funny, Dan, because that's on my bucket list. I want one of those.
it come up on Marketplace on Facebook, and I sent the guy a message, and it was sort of like 50 quid. And I sent him a message and just said to him, "Have you still got this?" And he come back to me the next day and said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can I have it?" He's like, "Yeah." So I sort of PayPal'd him the money, and sort of like a few days later, I got it. And I couldn't believe it. I was just like, blimey. Because C-Scope actually had one at Detectable a few years ago for sale. And I was sure it was like 200 quid or something like that on their stand. You know, last one they've got, £200. And I was looking at it thinking, do you know what? I really want one, but I don't want one for £200. So ever since, it's taken 2 years to find it. I suddenly found it, and it arrived the other day, and I'm absolutely chuffed. And the fact that it works amazingly as well, just a bonus.
Yeah. I tell you what, I got a lot of time. That was one of my first machines, a C-Scope, like a lot of people. And pre-COVID, I was going to be going to C-Scope to look at the production of the Evo. And I've got one now, and I've been field testing it for quite a few months. But for me, it's like Willy Wonka's Sweet Factory, going into C-Scope, make metal detectors in the UK. And if you phone up, oh, my knob's broken, they'd hang up. No, they'd say, yeah, we'll pop you one in the post for £2.50 or something. It's a rare thing, and I think, you know, hopefully when the Evo finally does get launched, it will bode well for them and do well. Yeah,
fingers crossed. You know, up the British and all that. Do you know what I mean? I'm 100% behind that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the Evo now for quite a few months, and they are working hard behind the scenes. I counted today. I'm going out tomorrow, and I'm taking it with me. And they've done 11 software updates since they sent it to me. So they're constantly listening to people and feedback. And it updates. There's an app on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, but they're not visible to normal public at the moment. But initial thoughts are it's a great little machine. So it's just the price point. The UK manufacturing costs are a lot higher than European.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously in China. Yeah. So, you know, when someone's looking at it at whatever it is, 700 quid compared to a Knox, all right, it might not be as good as a Knox, but it's got other features and benefits. And, you know, it's just one of those things you need to take into account. Prices and everything.
When I saw it at Detectable for the first time, obviously it was a few years back now, the only thing that struck me, you know, the team of that are brilliant, and I was looking, it's great. The screen just looked absolutely ginormous, and it stuck in my head about how far it was sticking out. It's like the latest Samsung phone stuck to the end of your hand, sticking out, and I thought that looks really unbalanced. It worked quite well. It was only a prototype, so obviously I'm really interested in how you think is that really beneficial, that massive screen? Is it well balanced?
I think it's potential. It is bigger than a Knox. It is quite big. It's behind me, but when I first saw it, I thought that is going to be totally unbalanced, and that is going to weigh a ton. It's not. It's got the best hand grip on a metal detector I've ever used in my life. It's like a rubbery, really nice silicon, but it is big, but it doesn't outbalance the machine. But I think deep down the line, injection molding costs tens of thousands of pounds. So to develop a frame for a detector, because going forward the Evo is going to evolve. So you've got the Evo 6000 now. In a couple of years' time, there could be a 9000, but that may have other bits inside the control box, which they've got space in there. Do you see what I'm saying? So rather than produce a new manufacturing part, they can just say, yeah, we can have that in. The holographic laser projection system for deep detecting will be fitted in there. So yeah, it's one of those things.
That's good. They're thinking ahead. Yeah, that's good. Good stuff.
I'm just looking at the chat.
Gentlemen, it's 9:30, and at this point, we do like to let Luke go to bed. Dan, it's been a pleasure, as ever.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
What have we got in store at the Searcher magazine in the coming months, or this year, in fact?
You touched on earlier about the Isle of Man Viking treasure that's just been found. Harry is interviewing the finder and curator tomorrow morning, so that'll be in an upcoming issue. I'm pretty sure she'll get a bit of a scoop or some exclusive stuff on that, so that's one to look out for. Even I don't know much about that, so I'm glad you didn't ask me too much earlier, because Harry knows about it than me, but obviously because that's coming into a future issue, it's all on the hush, but obviously an incredible thing. Obviously, Readers Finds, really encourage anyone to get in contact with me, friend me on Facebook or through Instagram, or send it to the searcher. Your first find, your best find, your latest find, anything, send it over to us. We'd love to share it with the rest of the world. Things like this. So Adam's obviously done this as an exclusive, absolutely stunning. In fact, Adam's done it, and it's going into Hanson's auction. He's going up for auction. Incredible piece. We love exclusives at the Searcher, and we're willing to talk to anyone who has an exclusive with us about a deal to get it in the magazine. I think it's just value for money. If it's everywhere in the world, then there's no point in picking up a magazine and reading it, because you can read it everywhere else. So we love exclusives, and we want everything that goes into that, heart and soul of the artwork, and we got Adam involved in that one because Adam is a massive fan and very knowledgeable on Iron Age stuff. So Adam took that reader and his find and had a meeting with him and a chat with him and created that incredible. Well, obviously, as you saw, the front, that's an incredible image. It's actually in two parts. You don't really see it there. Obviously, it's discussed about that in the magazine, but that's what we do. If anyone has anything incredible or what they feel is amazing, just come to us and go and Readers Find or as an exclusive. So we really push for that. We're always going to be having exclusives in terms of machines, coils, anything like that. We've got bits and pieces coming up in the future. We've got coil tests of different machines. We'll have new merchandise coming out. So yeah, anybody wants to get in touch with us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you can think of, we're on there, or friend me on Facebook and have a chat.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
For the winners for tonight's show, I've obviously not seen much pop up on screen, but I can confirm some of the winners are Philip Wells, David Haggerty, and Jamie Williams. I presume one of you won twice. Philip, I have got your communication details now. If you sent them to Facebook, and I'm not a friend of yours on Facebook, I never check the people you don't know sending me messages because I don't know how to. And usually it's just someone who's wanting me to watch sexy films or something, and I can't be bothered. But there you go.
Who's that, Dave? Sorry,
I always bloody random people. Oh, you can watch my videos, sexy time videos, blah blah blah.
Oh, that's just from Adrian. Dave, Dave, the winner videos. The winner of the obviously t-shirt / hoodie.
Oh, you've given it away.
Oh, I thought you'd already done it.
No, you've given it away. I told them we're just going to surprise them when they come through the door.
Sorry. Right. Yeah, but you can't because I need sizes. So
right.
That would have been fun. You would have surprised them with an extra small or something.
I'll tell you what then. I will. That's quite funny. Just do it. Or send them a triple XL and it won't fit them and they'll have to send it me.
You have to send it to you. Oh, genius.
What we'll do then, we'll decide who's won what behind the scenes, me and Luke. And we will obviously get their details, give them to you, Dan, and you can communicate with them about sizes and addresses and such like. How was that sound?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Simply lovely. Right, folks, next week we are hoping to have Barry John Bowers coming on the show. He was the gent who has allegedly found the location of the Holy Grail in the UK. He failed the other week because he didn't have the technology to support 3D stream. So instead, I'm going to be testing with him this week to see if he's able to get on. If not, we will put something else in place and we'll have another guest. We have filled up our spots for the coming months quite massively. We've done a very good job of actually getting people in place. The week following, we will have Metal Detecting Emily on the show. That's on the 4th of March. The following week is Jason and Lisa Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Norfolk Button Boy and Norfolk Girl Detects. Following that, we'll have Simon Bourne, no relation to Jason, who is Cy Fines, and some of what he'll be discussing. And Dan, you'll know that this gentleman, John Webb, the author who sadly passed away a few years. So I've done a documentary, more or less, about John Webb, and some of the tales he's got to tell us about John. Adrian assures me are fascinating.
Amazing.
Bump forward a couple of weeks, we have someone coming on from Sussex Heritage and a police officer from Operation Kronos, plus one or two other people on that show, I'm assured. And either on the 25th of March or the 1st of March, we have two big names from the America coming on the show. We're just waiting for them to get back from where they currently are to confirm the date for us. So we've got lots of big names on the way. So thank you as ever, everybody, for watching. Hopefully, as I say, Luke and I have been looking at things that will get us back on the feed on Facebook next week.
Just before we go, can I just give a little shout out?
Of course you can.
It might not be on until next year. I just want to give a shout out to Mark White, Stuart Cruttenden, and Marky Mark on digging, because they are the guys that I go digging with, and obviously with everything going on, I haven't seen them for what feels like a year. We chat all the time. It's not the sort of same. So I just want to give a chin up, boys. We'll be out soon, and to everyone else who's missing their detecting mates, it won't be long, I'm sure. So
that's Marky Mark, who doesn't give good horse racing tips.
Yeah, well, yes, because he keeps them for himself. You know, these ex-jockeys.
And he looks so big on the bloody telly as well.
Oh,
a jockey.
Mate, he scares me. He walks straight underneath my legs when we're detecting, looks up and goes boom like that. Yeah, he's that small.
So again, thank you as ever to Dan and to Adrian, to Luke producing, and Laura will probably be helping him, no doubt. And to everybody who's been watching tonight, again, we should be back on a feed on Facebook properly next week. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Thanks. Cheers, Dan.
Bye.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.